The Knights Templar speak to the imagination. Founded in 1129 as the Poor Knights of Christ, symbolized by two knights on one horse, they soon became one of the most formidable military forces in the Middle East, with hundreds of fully equipped knights and many more foot soldiers at their disposal. In the second half of the 12th century, they played a significant role in the battles in the Holy Land. Recruits for the Knights Templar were drawn from the Christian European nobility, mainly from France, Italy and Spain. The recruits were already knighted when they entered service. What set them apart from other knights was the vow of poverty, chastity and obedience. They would not fight for booty or noble title, but for the defense of Christianity, only accountable to the Pope in Rome. To protect the Kingdom of Jerusalem, the Templars dotted the Holy Land with their castles, but their mounted charge was their true strength. In 1177, during the Battle of Montgisard, approximately 500 Templar knights led a mounted charge of the crusader army against the much larger Muslim army of Saladin. The surprised and exhausted army of Saladin was totally routed. The Templar knights were instrumental in what can be called the greatest victory of the Crusaders over the Muslims in the 12th century. The victory of Montgisard was however overshadowed by the Battle of Marjayoun in 1179. This battle was triggered by the construction of the Templar castle of Chastelet, which is French for little castle. The Templars successfully defended the castle under construction against the siege of Saladin's army, which encouraged the Crusaders to confront him. During the following battle, the roles were reversed. The Crusaders were the unsuspecting party, and the Muslims, under Saladin, steamrolled them. The Battle of Marjayoun became a stain on the reputation of the Templars because they got the blame for the defeat, in particular Grand Master Odo of Saint-Amand, who was taken prisoner. He died in captivity in 1180. This was a heavy blow for the order, because he was the architect of their successes in the previous years, including Montgisard. To add insult to injury, the above-mentioned Templar castle of Chastelet was taken by Saladin and razed to the ground. The defeat at Marjayoun was caused because the infantry was separated from the cavalry and they were separately defeated. This happened again in 1187 at the Battle of Khe Sahn. This rather minor battle involved around 125 knights, but it included the Grand Master of the Templars. The Grand Master of the Templars took the Muslim bait of a feigned retreat, and the knights became separated from the infantry once again. Only 3 knights survived this battle, or rather slaughter, including the Templar Grand Master. The defeat at Khe Sahn was followed by the Battle of Hattin 2 months later. This battle was the result of the fact that the Crusaders were cut off from the local water sources. The defeat was not of the Templars' making, but they suffered nonetheless. Dozens of them surrendered, including the Grand Master. They were executed, as was common policy for Templar prisoners, except the Grand Master, who died in captivity. Hattin meant the beginning of the end of the Kingdom of Jerusalem and the Templar Order, as they lost most inland cities and strongholds. Overall, the Templars were a dedicated professional force, but their elite status was purely religious. They dedicated their life to serve the church, like ordinary monks, but in many aspects they were not much different from other knights. At least they were prone to make the same mistakes on the battlefield and had the same limitations as ordinary knights. The transformation of warfare from pitched battles to sieges and raids decreased the value of the main asset of the Templar Knight, the mounted charge. The Templar Knight remained a force to be reckoned with, but by the end of the 12th century it had lost its sting. If you like this episode, don't forget to watch my video about the Livonian Brothers of the Sword, another monastic order which was active in the Baltic states. If you like my content, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell to get notifications for new content.